Hey, yeah, it's Zombie. This may be weird because I'm not doing an edit or an episode of my shows, but this video is supposed to be different because I'm going to be explaining the Pet Wars lore and what Pet Wars is about, so new viewers don't get confused and think I'm trying to rip off from another company because there are other Pet Wars things out there. Like there's actually like a Pet Wars game book, but they're not from me. They're from other people. But I'm not trying to knock them off. It's just I made Pet Wars a long time ago. I don't remember when, but I was little. But I just called it Pet Wars. It was a Minecraft game at the start, but I just called it Pet Wars. I didn't think about anything like what it was gonna be called, so I just went with it and I kept it going throughout the years. Obviously, I won't be explaining the entire history of Pet Wars. Not yet, at least, because there's way too much to explain in one video. But I'm just going to give you guys a rundown of how it goes and what's going on so far. Like, the history, pretty much. Like, what we know so far. So, basically, it started with two friends, Junior and Zombie, who Zombie runs Pet Wars City, the home of everybody that lives there, and where every villain decides to try to take over or destroy. And then, for a different story, Junior has his own city as well, PvP City, and that's part of another franchise which my best friend made called PvP Wars, which you should probably check out. It's really good. You can read the book on Wattpad for his book called PvP Wars Reckoning, and you can also read my book, Pet Wars Odyssey of the Mind, on Wattpad. But that's not what we're talking about right now. So far, it's about Junior and Zombie, best friends, along with their other friends, Troop, Guy, John, Joe, Hudso, Dasher, LG, Ruby, and Jefferson. Some of these characters weren't introduced till later on, like such as LG, Ruby, and Jefferson and Hudso. They came in later on in the storyline. How it used to be, it just used to be Junior, Zombie, Troop, Joe, John, and Guy. And then Dasher got introduced and so on and so on. The games were the start of the franchise. Back then, I created Pet Wars 1 on Minecraft. It was just a friendly game of buying weapons and pets and fighting 1v1s or different types of game modes. You had a story mode, which was sadly discontinued. But besides that, the franchise grew to become Pet Wars 1, Pet Wars 2, Pet Wars 3, Pet Wars 4, and then, where the story started, Pet Wars 5, which introduced Jefferson and Joseph. Now, I'm going to talk first about Pet Wars 5's lore a little bit, because that's pretty much where it all started. Pet Wars 5 was like the Ice Age of the franchise. Like, Joseph or Jefferson, they were father and son. But, down the line, Joseph got defeated, and there's like 5 or 3 movies in the game that you can like read from signs, because that's how I used to do my show type things back then in Minecraft, with signs. But you had the Pet Wars 5 movie, and then there was a sequel, and during those movies, Joseph was killed, and Jefferson was also killed. But during this show, everybody thought Zombie was dead, because Zombie was killed. Ironic. And he came back, but Junior was at his fort, sad, and then Jefferson's soul came, and then they made an agreement. So, Jefferson, down the line, became a good guy. But then, as we see in the start of Chapter 1 of Pet Wars Odyssey of the Mind, he's been trapped in a crystal, so Jefferson ended up dying at some point. But we do know that he's back in Odyssey of the Mind as one of the good guys, trying to fight his son, or at least stop him. But after these movies, there was a show, like a separate side game, the Pet Wars. It was the Pet Wars series, which had tons of different adventures. It continued off from the second Pet Wars movie in game of the fifth game, and it continued from that storyline along with extra adventures and so on and so on. I don't really feel like explaining every single detail in this. But if you would like to check out the games, feel free to ask me. I can friend you on the PlayStation or whatever you play on, and we can play together. Like, I don't mind. But after Pet Wars 5, the Pet Wars 5 and series events, we went on to Pet Wars 6, which is technically the newest one. And in this one, Pet Wars 6, there's a big war going on, so Zombie has to leave and help Junior defend PvP Wars, or PvP Cedar, the Fort, or whatever. So, this game is about the player trying to help protect Pet Wars while Zombie's gone. And in this, it's not fully finished, but there's a story mode called The New Order, and some other feature that you can mess around with. And yes, let's be honest, I get lost and confused with my own story lore. It gets messy, like, all over the place. Let's just say it's kind of like Marvel's lore in some way. It even gets me confused, so I'm trying my best to explain it to you guys, if you're new or old or either one. I'm trying to explain as much as I can, because I'm not going to explain everything like I said, but at least a good portion so you understand what's going on. But since obviously this is on my YouTube channel, this video will be posted on my YouTube channel, the Pet Wars show is supposed to be a little fun show that I could put on TV, like on YouTube pretty much. And it's about a new villain called Big Batty, who used to be Zombie's best friend, until Zombie stole his girlfriend, which made him mad, and he's like, somewhat like, yo, come on, I thought you were better than that, friends are first, come on. So, they get a little feisty, and they depart, but they meet again some years later, and Big Batty threatens to destroy his city, Zombie City. And he's like, no, or something like that. And then, years later, at the beginning, which starts off episode 1, they start to fight. They get in this brawl, and Zombie and Junior get kicked out of the city. Just watch the show, you'll understand where I'm coming from. But then I have another show which is not really relevant to Pet Wars, but it's called the Zombie and Friends show, which it's not Pet Wars, but it's, I guess, part of it, because it has the Pet Wars characters in it, but there's only one episode on that so far. I'm trying to get the rest in, but the app I'm using is being a pain. I also have a Battle Royale to the franchise on Minecraft called Pet Wars X. And no, that doesn't mean Pet Wars 10, it's just, I don't know why I called it X, it makes it sound cool, I guess. But that has a lot of story lore to it, which I'm not going to explain right now, because it's a lot to uncover. But if you want to check out for yourself, again, ask me. It's another one of my side games on Minecraft, I'll gladly show you around. To sum it up somewhat, Pet Wars is basically a bunch of friends going on adventures to stop evil and protect their city. But why is it called Pet Wars if there's no pets in it? Well, there are pets in it. We just don't see them often because I mostly forget about adding them. My bad. But we have our friend's pets. So Junior's pets are Rufus or Rufus. Either one. And then you got Jasmine, which is a cat. Well, Rufus is a dog, too. And then you got Jerry, which is a green parrot. And then Zombie's pet, he only has one pretty much. His is a blue parrot called Crane. Yeah, I know their colors are mixed up because Junior's blue, Zombie's green. But back then it was all mixed up. We just kept in the colors that they are now because they're OG. Those are pretty much all the pets that we have right now, but they're still relevant to the story in some way. Like there are pets. But before I wrap this up, because this is all I'm gonna be talking about, to be honest. So I hope I'm at least explaining it well enough so you understand it in some way. But if there's something I'm missing, like if you want me to talk about something more, or like just ask me questions, pretty much, like in the comments. If you have a question about the franchise, ask me. I'll gladly answer. But one more thing I want to talk about is the weird transformation of zombie, and then you got human zombie, which is, human zombie, the white male with the green sweater. But then you got the zombie, which is like a undead zombie, pretty much. That's what I'm going to talk about next. But before I do, make sure you subscribe if you're new, because it would help a lot. And if you're interested in the franchise, definitely hit the bell, like notifications, because you don't want to miss a video. I hope this is interesting to you. If not, it's understandable. You have your own feelings. But I'm also going to have a brand new intro and outro in this video when I'm done making it. Which should be up by the time this is uploaded. But I'm going to try to make more videos like this, explaining stuff about Pet Wars, which is really fun to do, if I'm honest. I'm going to do this more. But where we were going to, the transformation of zombie. If you read Pet Wars Visions, which is the Origins type book on Wattpad, Zombie used to be a human. Well, he is a human, but he used to be a normal person. He was a normal citizen in the city. His name was Zach. He used to be called Zach. And then he had like these dreams, and he woke up from a coma. He woke up from a 4-year coma, sort of. And an outbreak broke out when he was in a coma. He was so confused, he woke up in a hospital bed. A doctor walked in and was like, oh, great heavens, he's awake. And they carried him out in the hallway where Zombie meets an old friend, Guy, who Zombie doesn't remember because he was in a coma. He lost memory pretty much. Then Zombie has a headache and gets his flashback, and he starts to remember who Guy is. And then they hear gunshots, and this is where Troop comes in. He's trying to fight off a horde of zombies down the hall as he tells everybody else to run. And then Guy's like, look who we found, and he's like, Troop's like, Zach, you're alive, but not for long if we don't keep running. Then Zach trips and falls, which ends up making this group split. So Troop and the others distract the horde so Zach can get away. And then Zach goes into another room and finds Slayer, his iconic sword, which was left from another owner who sadly got killed, pretty much. So Slayer is now his weapon. And then Zach goes back out into the hallway where a zombie spots him and tries to attack him. But Zach has no clue how the heck to freaking kill these things, so he struggles. And in this process, Zach gets bitten on the shoulder. And as he kills the zombie, he ends up turning into one of them. And for some reason, Zach ends up becoming a different type of zombie. He turns into a zombie, but he can speak somewhat human language, which is nothing a zombie can do, obviously. But he walks into another room and fight because he's naked now. He's just in his underwear, which might sound funny. It might be. But he finds a tuxedo in another room, which is what he puts on, giving off the iconic zombie in a suit skin from Minecraft, which is my main skin. But he runs into Zach in the hallway, but Zach is confused because... No, Troop, my bad, sorry. He runs into Troop in the hallway, and Troop's scared, because he's like, oh crap, you're a zombie. And he tries to shoot him, but he's out of ammo. But then Zach tries to speak to Troop, and Troop's like, what the heck? Wait, you're Zach. And Zach is trying to speak, so Troop smacks his neck with the pistol butt or whatever, and it clears his throat a little bit. So then Zach, or now Zombie, as he presumes to be called now, tries to explain what happened to Troop, and Troop's confused. He's like, "Whoa, you're not like the others. You're not like the other zombies." That's pretty neat. I didn't get far into the book, but that's where it pretty much leaves off. But that is pretty much Zombie's origins. But how does he transform to zombie and others and like other Pet Wars stuff to human zombie? Well, I don't have an explanation for that. It just happens randomly. But I guess you could say he has a special power he can transform into. I don't know how to explain it. But that's gonna pretty much wrap it up today. Sorry I didn't really explain that much, but again, I just wanted to try to get at least some kind of history or lore out to you so you understand. But I hope this helped you somewhat. If you enjoy what I talked about so far and are interested in the franchise, feel free to subscribe and keep updated on what I post. If you're not interested in, like, you don't care about it, that is perfectly fine. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. But I'm gonna leave this video off with, I really do enjoy talking about this, so I might do more videos like this. So keep a heads up for that. If you have any questions, comment them below. And let them be appropriate, okay? Because I'm trying to make a kid-friendly type channel, which may sound cringe, but I don't want to get canceled. But again, I hope you enjoyed of what I talked about. And if you're interested, blah blah blah, subscribe, do that, yeah. But I will see you all in the next video. Thanks.